We're going to be doing something a little bit different because we're going to be talking a bit about delivery. Now, let's talk a little bit about form first because we're all delivering to a camera. There's this weird green light, and I have to imagine you all there because nobody is in fact sitting in my dining room watching me give this speech. Most of you, this story will be exactly the same. Because of the various restrictions of this class and this online format, we will not be giving our speeches face to face in so much as a digital manner. And so that's a little bit different, but we still need to talk about delivery. So we've already talked a little bit about posture and how posture can help with your speaking anxiety. But posture is also a part of ethos, that core of credibility, how audiences perceive you. If you look really super nervous, awkward and uncomfortable and sort of like this, does that contribute to your audience's perception of your trustworthiness? Now remember, trustworthiness is not actually about truthfulness. I wish it was, but it's not. It's about how the audience perceives you as truthful, how the audience perceives you as trustworthy. And a large part of our perception comes from what we see. That means that it is vital that you bring your best posture, your best physical presentation of self in order to establish and build your ethos as a public speaker. So let's practice how to do that a little bit. And there is no better way to do this than with children's books. If you've ever spent any time with a toddler or a preschooler, you know that that's where the phrase brutal honesty comes from. I once asked my nephew Ethan, now 4 3/4 years old, he would want me to tell you that 3/4 part, what he thought of my hair. It was a different color than the purple. He looked at it and he said, "I don't like it. It looks stupid." He couldn't say the yes at the point. 90-year-olds and toddlers, the wisdom of honest truth. And so one of the things that we can do is practice with that audience in mind. And so I like to do that by practicing with children's books. Now my nephew Ethan has a very favorite series of books at this time in his life. They are The Questionnaires. It's about a series of really diverse second graders who love to build things and do science. If you're familiar with STEM or STEAM activities, that is what these are. They're rhyming books. They're absolutely adorable. You can find readings of them on YouTube if you're interested. And they're actually interesting, so I don't mind reading them to him. In fact, I've read him his favorite, Iggy Peck, Architect, so many times that I have parts of it memorized. And so usually if I read it to a 4-year-old, I start like this. All right, you ready to look at the pictures, buddy? Young Iggy Peck is an architect and has been since he was 2, when he built a great tower in only 1 hour with nothing but diapers and glue. "Good gracious, Ignatius," his mother exclaimed. "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen." But her smile faded fast as a light wind blew past and she realized those diapers weren't clean. "Ignatius, my son, what on earth have you done? It's disgusting and nasty. It stinks." That's where Ethan would start laughing. But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn using dirt clods to build a great sphinx. So that's obviously an appropriate delivery for a young child. I use my body, my gestures in a way that make a 4-year-old laugh every single time. I know every single time because I've read it to him at least 350 times at this point. I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. But what if we did that same exercise? And that's what you're going to do today. You took that children's book and instead you had to read it to a slightly different audience. Perhaps it's an audience at a nursing home. You're going to read it to a bunch of elderly senior citizens. Perhaps it's an audience of new mothers and you want to warn them what's coming if they really want their kids to get into science. I am going to read it to an audience of young mothers. Young Iggy Peck was an architect and has been since he was 2. when he built a great tower in only 1 hour with nothing but diapers and glue. Yeah. Good gracious, Ignatius, his mother exclaimed. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. But her smile faded fast as a light wind blew past and she realized those diapers weren't clean. Ignatius, my son, what on earth have you done? Oh, it's disgusting and nasty. What stinks? But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn using dirt clods to build a great sphinx. You can bet anything. That's where the mothers would start laughing. If you've ever had to change a diaper, you know. You can see that I changed my delivery. My physical posture is different, performing for a little kid versus sharing a story with other mothers of preschoolers. You can see that my gestures are different when talking to small children versus when dealing with small children. And that's what I want you to do today. Use delivery, your entire body, this entire instrument that you have access to, verbal, physical, nonverbal, and all of the variety in between, to take something as silly and inane as a children's book and make other meanings. So I look forward to seeing your videos today. Make sure that we can see your full presentation. You may have to mess around a little bit with how you set up your video camera. Mine is currently elevated on a dining room table and a chair and a stack of books, in case you were wondering. Make sure we can see your presentation. And let's hear those children's literature books today.